Good morning, and thank you all for tuning in. Today, I would like to share some mental health wellness tips that I stumbled across from a psychologist, and her name is Christina Marie. This is a really challenging time for all of us, and I think all the strategies that we can get and tools will be helpful, and hopefully, these are helpful to you. So, it's actually 25 mental health wellness tips. If you have a moment to write these down, please do so. You can always come back and take notes later. But I'm just going to go through them one at a time. So, the first one that we're all encouraged to do is stick to a routine. Now, I'm one of those people, it's actually after midnight now, and I'm trying to go to sleep, but I can't, which is why I decided to go ahead and do this video. But she suggests that we go to sleep and wake up at a reasonable time and write a schedule for things that we plan to do, especially self care. So it's really important that in our routine every day, we are at least doing one thing to take care of ourselves. Number two, she says we should dress for the social life that we want, not the social life that we have. And if your social life is anything like mine, you're probably in a robe. But she suggests getting showered, dressed, being comfortable, taking a bath, having a facial, shaving, putting on bright colors because it is amazing how our dress can actually impact our mood. Number three, I know this is a tough one because we are in the midst of the shutdown, but get out of the house for at least 30 minutes a day. Now, maybe you can't go for 30 minutes at a time. Maybe it's 10 minutes. If you can get a walk or go outside, it is highly recommended that you do that. Um, if you're living in a high risk area, open the windows, blast the fan, get some sun because it's amazing how much that can actually lift our spirits. And just a side note, it's really important that you take additional vitamin D3 right now because we are not getting the exposure to the sun that we normally would. Also, it's safe for children to take as well. Number four, find some time to move every single day. There's lots of YouTube videos out there that you can do. Maybe it's just walking in place. There's great videos on how you can walk 4 to 5 miles just by watching a YouTube video. You can dance, anything you want to do. Yoga is a great one, but get your exercise in every single day. Number five, reach out to others. Absolutely. So we are living in an age now where we have access to information at our fingertips. We can also connect with people at the push of a button. So if you have FaceTime, Duo, Marco Polo, it's important that you connect with someone face to face every single day and have that continued social interaction. Number six, and if you live in Las Vegas like we do, this is even more important. Stay hydrated and eat well. Many of us are stocking up on food. I know a lot of folks stocked up on canned food and soup, top ramen, things like that. Just keep in mind that they have very high sodium um, percentages. So please make sure that you are monitoring how much sodium you take in daily, but that you are also getting an appropriate amount of water, that you are taking your vitamins, and that you are eating fresh fruits and vegetables very often. Try to avoid junk food as much as you possibly can, and that includes alcohol. Number seven, develop a self care toolkit. This one is really cool. So, this could be things that you just really enjoy. So, the other day, for example, me and the kids sat down and I told them, like, go get your baby pictures. And we sat down and looked through their baby books. And it was so cool. It just, gave us a moment to sit together and laugh and pause and really reflect on things that kind of give us those warm and fuzzy feelings. So this could be pictures, it could be comforting music, burning essential oil, incense, your favorite blanket, your favorite snack, whatever. Develop a kit. I know when I was younger, my mom would color all the time with us, and coloring is very therapeutic no matter how old you are. It makes you feel good. So go to the Dollar Tree and get some crayons and a coloring book. Number 7, spend extra time playing with children. So if you have children, remember, children very rarely will communicate how they feel, and they often are seeking attention and communication through us through play. So keep in mind that they need that interaction. So beef that up if you are a parent. Get as involved with them physically as you possibly can. Number 9, give everyone the benefit of the doubt. This includes your spouse, significant other, anyone who you're in the home with. A lot of cooped up time can actually bring out the worst in everyone. And every person will have their moments, and we'll have moments where we're not at our best. That's to be expected right now. It's important that you move with grace, that you move with love and patience. Try not to show up to every argument that you're invited to. Don't hold grudges and continue to have disagreements. Just remember, everyone's doing their best to make it through this challenging time. Number 10, find your own retreat space. Now, space can be very limited, especially if you live in the city. But it's important that everyone has their own separate space to go and relax in. This could be the bathroom for some of you. Maybe it's a closet that you've converted into a office or a private space. This could be your balcony. But it's really important that you have somewhere to go when you feel stressed. You can make this space cozy by using blankets, pillows, cushions, and scarves. It's a good idea to know that even when you're on top of each other, that you all have your own special place to go to. Number 11, expect behavioral issues with children and respond gently. We're all struggling with disruptions in routine. And keep in mind that children rely on routines for consistency. So they don't have that right now. So expect increased anxiety, worries, fears, even nightmares, trouble sleeping. Do not introduce major behavioral plans or major negative consequences at this time. Hold stable and focus on emotional connection with your family. Number 12, focus on safety and attachment. It's really important that when you're thinking about the deadlines that you have, so many of us are still working, we're homeschooling children, we're still trying to run a household, and you can get caught up in meeting these expectations. But remember that these are unpredictable times for children and even some of our family members. So just focus on strengthening the connection through the time that you're spending with them, through physical touch, through play, therapeutic books, and just reassuring them that things will be okay. Number 13, lower your expectations and practice self acceptance. Love yourself, appreciate yourself. Instead, and give yourself, accept everything about yourself, even your situation. Whatever your situation is, everyone's different at this time. But just tell yourself you're doing the absolute best that you possibly can with what you have right now. Number 14, limit social media and COVID-19 conversation, especially around children, or not even just children. If you have adults in the home who have anxiety, you want to limit these conversations so that they're not triggers. Also, remember the information that we receive oftentimes is sensationalized, negatively skewed. It's driven to cause fear in many of us. So find a few trusted resources that you have and limit the amount of exposure that you have to them to about 30 minutes a day. Number 15, notice the good in the world. There are so many positive things that are happening right now, even though there are lots of negative things happening. It's important that we balance out the negative with positive. So look at things that are going well and that silver lining throughout this crisis. Number 16, help someone. Find a way. It doesn't matter how big or how small. It could be something as simple as supporting a local small business or a restaurant, going to the grocery store for someone, checking in or calling an elderly neighbor or a friend, writing a letter. These are things that help give people a sense of, um, it helps ground them and it gives them a sense of connection that, someone cares about them. Number 17, find something you can control and control the heck out of it. I love this one, and I actually operate under this philosophy all the time because I cannot control everything. None of us can. So, right now, look for something that you can. Organize a bookshelf. This could be a closet, putting together some furniture, a small DIY project that you can do, just so that you have that sense of control and ownership. Number 18, find a long-term project to dive into. This could be something like a puzzle, a 15-hour risky game, painting a picture, reading a book. This could be binge watching a new TV show. Anything that you can do that will be long term, not something that can be completed in a matter of days, but something that you can look forward to that'll keep you busy and distracted, um, and engages you during this shutdown or shut in. Number 19. This is really cool. So she says we should engage in repetitive movements in the left and right, on the left and right side. So research has shown that repetitive movement, especially left right movement, can be effective at self-soothing, maintaining self-regulation in moments of distress. This also helps stimulate and strengthen the left and right side of your brain. So if you're right-handed, for example, and you're always using your right hand, you're only working one part of your brain. So if you are dominant with your right hand, try doing some things with your left hand. Try brushing your teeth with your left hand. I wouldn't suggest shaving. I don't want you to cut yourself, but try drinking. Instead of drinking with your right hand when you're drinking or eating, try using your left hand. This will really start to strengthen your brain. Number 20, find an expressive art and go for it. Our emotional brain is very receptive to creative arts. So this could be, again, dancing, singing, playing, sculpting, anything you like to do in a creative way, and get the kids involved. Number 21, find lightness and humor in each day. There's so much to be worried about, and with good reason. But balance this out with something funny. Maybe it's a funny YouTube video or a stand-up show on Netflix. A funny movie can also lift your spirits. Keep in mind that we all need a little comedy relief. Number 22, and we are almost at 25. 22 is so important. Reach out for help. So if there are individuals out there who have a therapist and you're going through therapy, keep up your sessions. I know many of those therapists are seeing patients via phone and email. So keep those sessions going. Keep up with your medications if you are prescribed them. And if you're having difficulty coping with this, or if you feel like your kids are having a difficult time, you can reach out to lots of providers that are actually providing services to people in the home. And you can also call your Medicare, or what am I trying to say? I'm sorry. It's your health insurance provider, and there's a lots of resources there where you can connect with someone. Number 23, chunk your quarantine time. So take it one moment at a time, because we don't know how long this is going to last. They're telling us until the end of April, but we all know good and well that it's going to last longer than that. So When she says chunk your quarantine time, what she says is focus on whatever bite sized piece of a challenge that feels manageable to you. So some people say take it one day at a time. In other words, you may be taking it 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, or one activity at a time. But take each chunk one chunk at a time and move through stress in pieces. Number 24, this is temporary. Please remind yourself that this is temporary. You can actually use this as an affirmation. Get up in the morning, brush your teeth, and tell yourself, this will pass. It seems that in the midst of the quarantine that it'll never end. And it's terrifying to think of how long this could last. But take time to remind yourself that it won't last forever. We will return to feeling free, safe, busy, and connected. Last but not least, find the lesson. What is the silver lining in this? And I will say, just for me, well, let me read this first and then I'll tell you. The whole crisis can seem sad, senseless, and at times avoidable. So, when psychologists are working with trauma, one of the things that they help individuals do is look for the positive outcomes behind the challenges, meaning look for the construction in the midst of the destruction. What can each of us learn from this? What needs to change in ourselves, our homes, our communities, our nation, and our world? So I'm just going to speak to the change that I see in myself and just in my home. I will say that I'm focusing more on my needs and I'm focusing more on the children's needs. And I feel like we are more connected now, even though there are challenges. I am not saying it is like a breeze, but we are communicating more and spending more time together. And I've had an opportunity now to really focus my attention more on God and hearing his voice and doing his work, finding some way to do his work. And I'm seeing people out in the community helping each other, talking. Even though we have our social distance, there are more conversations going on now that I have with people out in the public, just because I think people feel like they need to have that type of connection. And that's a great thing because at least we see each other now. Maybe before we didn't. So what's your silver lining? What are some things that are good coming out of this situation? And focus on things that make you feel good. I appreciate you all listening to those 25 mental health wellness tips for quarantine. Be well, and God bless you all.